So I wanted to come on here and talk about Amber Guyger, a person I haven't talked about on my channel in a couple of years, because the last time we talked about her was when she was found guilty and being sent to jail in the murder of Botham John. And that rather disturbing display from his family, mainly his brother, giving this woman a hug and all types of stuff like that. Fast forward to today, it has pretty much come out that, first off, we knew that Amber Guyger and her team were going to go for an appeal, especially after the whole forgiveness train that his family went on. And we all just knew that this was going to be the one right here where her appeal was going to come in and her conviction would be overturned. Well, it looks like we were kind of wrong, because according to this article I'm going to read, her appeal was denied. They are upholding her conviction and she is staying in jail. So I'm going to go ahead and read this article that is coming from CBS News. A Texas appeals court on Thursday upheld the murder conviction of a former Dallas police officer who was sentenced to prison for fatally shooting her neighbor in his home. A panel for 3 state judges ruled that a Dallas County jury had sufficient evidence to convict Amber Guyger of murder in the 2018 shooting of Botham John. The decision by the 5th Texas Court of Appeals in Dallas means Guyger, who turns 33 on Monday, will continue to serve her 10-year prison sentence and largely dashes her hopes of having the 2019 conviction overturned. She will become eligible for parole in 2024 under her current sentence. So you mean to tell me this heifer can't wait just a couple of years? It must be just burning her up that she can't last for at least 3 more years. Look at this. Look at the slap of the wrist that she got. But see, this goes back to the accountability and the lack of accountability she felt that or the lack of accountability that she is displaying, and believing that she should just walk away from this, as if she did not commit the murder that she committed. It is what it is. The ruling comes in a case that drew national attention because of the strange circumstances and because it was one in the string of shooting of black men by white police officers. The appeals court justices did not dispute the basic facts of the case. Guyger, returning home from a long shift, mistook John's apartment for her own, which was on the floor directly below his. Finding the door ajar, she entered and shot him, later testifying that she thought he was a burglar. John, a 26-year-old accountant, had been eating a bowl of ice cream before Guyger shot him. She was later fired from the Dallas Police Department. Guyger's appeal hung on the claim that her mistaking John's apartment for her own was reasonable, and so the shooting was as well. Her lawyer asked the appeals court to acquit her of murder and substitute in a conviction for criminally negligent homicide, which carries a lesser sentence. Dallas County prosecutors countered that the error wasn't reasonable, that Guyger acknowledged intending to kill John, and that murder is a result-oriented offense. The court's Chief Justice Robert D. Burns III and Justices Lana Myers and Robbie Partita Kipnis concurred with prosecutors, disagreeing that Guyger's belief that deadly force was needed was reasonable. In a 23-page opinion, the justices also disagreed that evidence supported a conviction of criminally negligent homicide rather than murder, and they pointed to Guyger's own testimony that she did intend to kill. That she was mistaken as to John's status as a resident in his own apartment or a burglar in hers does not change her mental state from intentional or knowing to criminally negligent, judges wrote. We decline to rely on Guyger's misperception of the circumstances, leading to her mistaken beliefs as a basis to reform the jury's verdict in light of the direct evidence of her intent to kill. Defense attorneys could still ask the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals, the state's highest form of criminal cases, to review the appeals court's ruling. A message to Guyger's attorney was not immediately returned. And that right there is why she had her appeal overturned. Because in her own testimony, she basically admitted that she intended to kill him. And we all heard it. Everyone who was watching this trial, because it was streamed, so if you had an internet connection and access to different news sites, or even YouTube, because it was streamed on a lot of news channels via YouTube, you saw and heard her say that she admitted to doing what she did, and she had intent to do it. That is why her appeal was not granted. So at this point, I don't know if she's going to be able to appeal again. At this point, on something that concrete, they're probably not going to allow her to appeal again. But the fact that she has a damn parole that she's eligible for in 2024, it could look likely for her, or the fact that her appeal did not go through under the basis and grounds of which it didn't. She might end up not getting the parole either, but who knows? Well, we shall see, but I will not hold my breath. But I'm glad that her appeal was not granted. That's one good thing, and that rarely happens in a case like this. First off, it's rare that a white cop, man or woman, will go to jail for killing a black person, man or woman, a child. And we have seen that plenty of times. So that pretty much is my conclusion behind the whole thing. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Why do you think her conviction was, not her conviction, her appeal was denied? Because mine is because she already admitted to intending to kill Botham Jean.